So my name is Dana Hernandez. I've been with the church going on 2 years now. Life is tough. At the age of 6 years old, experienced drugs for the first time. Mother actually was experiencing substance abuse. My uncle that was around was selling, using drugs. In fact, he was the first one that actually gave me weed from the beginning, marijuana from the beginning, and began drinking and then began smoking cigarettes. But what went on around that also was a lot of abuse, from physical to sexual abuse. I was broken from day one. From day one, even born into this thing, I was broken and lost. But all throughout my life, there was always some type of method that God was trying to reach my heart. In 2012, I'm facing lots of time. I'm in the holding cell, knowing that, at this point, it didn't matter how much time I was gonna do. What I did know is I didn't wanna do it alone. And I just got down and I said, Lord, no matter what happens, I need you. It was released January 11th in 2015, January 12th at 4 a.m. I was at work making some good money, did really well. But at this point, I was just kind of going through the motions. I stopped attending service. I just worked. And I started putting Christ on the back burner. And then what came about with that was I just started drinking again. And I crashed. I lost everything at that point. I ended up back in prison, but I was just so lost and just on the wayside so much because I just wasn't following them. I remembered all the principles. I remembered what I needed to do, but the problem was that addiction had me so tough because I thought that was the relief, that was the answer, and it was such a lie. I wanted to go to church. I was sitting at the Clarion Motel down the street, seen this one. And I said, yeah, well, I'm gonna walk up there. So I did. A week or so later, Jeremy gives me a call. He pretty much just gave it to me, he shot it to me straight. I needed to get my stuff together. And I was like, that's my guy. That's the guy I need to be around. Now I almost got 2 years clean. Been at the church 2 years. I found a home here, I've been accepted. I've been loved on. I've been helped. I've been encouraged. And that's what the body's all about, is just embracing each other. As we cooperate with him, with the Spirit, and we work with one another to see each other grow and love one another, and then actually let that go outside of the body to bring other people into the body, that's just a miracle all in itself. Now there's opportunity to help other people grow that go through some of the same circumstances and same situations that I have, some of the same struggles. So over a course of time, a young gentleman popped in the church who's here working with the children now, Mr. Samori. We had a conversation about starting a group. And he said, man, I really want to start a recovery group. And we sat down, we talked about it. And I met Shiloh prior to this, months, probably a year before. And we talked about it. I think it was on the hearts and minds of a few of us. And we just want to see people grow. Gives us a space for men and women to be vulnerable with one another and to be honest about what they're struggling with. It doesn't necessarily have to be completely focused on substance abuse. It doesn't necessarily have to focus on abuse as a whole. It could just be a challenge that you're facing, because we all face challenges. And for us to encourage one another through the foundations of Scripture is how we're all going to grow. And that's when it comes to discipleship. And that's when it comes to edification. And that's how the kingdom is going to be grown, so we can be sent out and bring more people into the fold. And like I said, it's not limited to just people that struggle with substance abuse, that struggle with abuse as a whole, but just struggle with being us as people. Us as people have problems and challenges. We're not perfect. Our perfection is totally positioned in Jesus. But if we can just walk with one another, we're all going to be better off.